The art of beating a video game. It's something, alright. Games cost a pretty penny nowadays, so you better pick the right one. Because if you don't, you could end up with a shelf full of coffee coasters. Not beating a game can come from multiple angles, like taking a break from it and never coming back, or just losing interest entirely. Losing interest doesn't mean the game is bad. Well, sometimes, but not all the time. Spaceships for the Xbox. So today I'm going to talk about why we finish games and why we don't finish games. First, I think it's important to talk about games that don't have an ending. Well, this does, but beating it isn't the main goal in mind. If you haven't noticed yet, that game is... The goal for most people is to get to the final boss and beat him. But what's left once you've done that? Getting your ass kicked by people better than you, that's what's left. Things like tournaments or even playing somebody that's better than you can add a competitive edge that make these games last forever. Or, if you're like me and don't have any friends, these games can get boring quickly. Yeah, if you're not into fighters, things like this can get boring quickly, but they do make for an epic waste of space. Alright, let's move into games that have a goal of beating them in mind, and that game would be The Last of Us. Let me say I've beaten this game multiple times on both PS3 and PS4, but why is that? Probably because it's one of the best games ever made, and critically acclaimed to boot. Yes, this game is a basic third-person shooter, but it does it well, and some might even say perfectly. Actually, I'd say almost everybody would say perfectly. On top of that, this game has a lot of good and heart-wrenching moments, and is overall just... It's just good. This game is perfect, and there's not a bad moment in pacing. Basically what I'm saying is this game is like if the Titanic made it all the way through. It tooted its way all the way through, it saw that iceberg, and it took a sharp right, and it made it to its destination. This is that game. Too bad the Titanic sank, and now I gotta talk about The Evil Within. Welcome to The Evil Within. There's a special word for these kind of games. It's the fact that it's not bad, but it's not good either. But it isn't bad. I think you get my point. This game suffers from one of the 7 deadly sins. It's actually called not being fun to play on the second time through. It consists of so many sections of just doing nothing. There's just nothing happening. For example, I captured footage for the final boss. It's chapter 15, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. And you just do nothing. It's awful. You literally corridor after corridor your way to nothing. There's nothing. Not you could look. There might be a few rats and there might be a few... Mises? And it's not like the gunplay is bad and the game isn't fun. This game has plenty of fun moments the first way through if you can slug through sprinting through a hallway for 20 minutes. The game that directed RE4, the best game of all time, the game that deserves no introduction, it has a halo around it and the gods sing every time you put it in your console, had something to do with this. Too bad. Something was about to happen, actually. I finally stopped running through all those corridors, and you believe it or not, something was gonna happen, and I actually got so bored that I turned my Xbox off. So, I think that can be summed up as, I beat it once, and would rather play Modern Warfare 3 on DS than play this again. Okay, after the mess that was The Evil Within, I'm gonna talk about a game that I haven't beaten, but it's really not the game's fault. This game was fun. Tomb Raider was honestly pretty epic, but I bought this thing, and it kind of looks like an Oreo without cream. And yes, obviously the thing I'm talking about is the PS4. I understand there's an updated version, but by then it was too late. I moved on to newer games on newer hardware, and the game kind of went the wayside. I contemplated a lot hooking up my Xbox on multiple occasions, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. And then I forgot the story in the game and now even how it functioned, but that wasn't it. This game also suffers from being a late 360 and PS3 release, which mean the game never ran. Like, it didn't function most of the time. We were playing at 15 FPS most of the time. I mean, it wasn't great, but I was having fun. Holy hell, all I did was unlock an achievement, and I needed to call the life alert line to assist my Xbox in reviving it and coming back to life.
I'm having chest pain!
I'm calling paramedics and your family, Mr. Miller.
I've fallen, and I can't get up!
We're sending help immediately, Mrs. Fletcher.
Yes, I also considered very heavily on buying the PS4 and beating it on that, but by then I was roughly like 30-something% the way through the game and 5 hours into it on 360, which made it harder to consider playing again. So in short, I pretty much say this game is better than The Evil Within. I think I just played it at the wrong time. It was the wrong moment. So those games had some struggles, but they were good. You could make it through them. You could muster up enjoyment out of those games, alright? Even The Evil Within, alright? But are you really ready for what I'm about to show you? The main event. ladies and gentlemen, ready for open season the game.
I have a question for God. What?
Developed by Ubisoft, you say? Honestly, I don't know if that makes this game good or mediocre, but I'll just have to find out. Hey, listen, we might have to have a talk. Is it too late to turn back?
Hey guys, look! It's a dancing bear!
Hey, can you foxtrot?
Skip the light fandango!
Hey, Bear, do the lambada!
Hey, why not? I got a good idea. Why don't you shut the f up and get out of my cutscene?
Okay, no problem. Follow me, and we'll get through here. No!
Whoa, 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 hold on there, Cornflake. Human beings are my area of expertise.
I figured I'd just put it out there. I think a bear and a deer are probably gonna die tonight. So basically, if you're looking for a quick rundown on open season the video game, all it is you, the big old boogster, you run up to people and you scare them. So basically, the people over at Ubisoft, wherever they were, Canada, Montreal, and Quebec, you not, they developed this. I didn't think they did either, but where there's a will, there's a way. Okay, enough lollygagging aside. This mission, this goal, this masterpiece of game development wants me to climb up a mountain. You know, in my wildest dreams, I never thought climbing up a 200-foot mountain would lead to winter. Okay, I'm on to my last game, trying to figure out why we beat video games or why we don't. Honestly, couldn't think of a better game. Could you? Insert the best game of all time, Cars the video game, into my Xbox. If you're falling behind, shortcuts can help you take the lead. I don't see anything wrong there. This game's gonna be great! Actually, you know, I think we may have had a revelation, because I don't remember what it's actually called, but I'm having it right now. You know, I think it's actually called Fun. I mean, the racing's pretty easy, but I could see how any 5-year-old opening this bad boy up on Christmas morning would be having fun right now. Okay, so the basic concept for this game is you do some stuff, some side stuff. You know, you do things like tractor tipping.
Wait a minute, you want to go tractor tipping? Please, I thought you was scared.
Me? Afraid of tractors?
No, was scared of Frank.
Nah, Frank's a big guy. Move slow.
You know, I'm hearing this Frank guy's a pretty big guy. Is he, Mater? I mean, he can't be that big. Oh my god. Okay, I have no choice. I gotta narrow it down. I gotta play something. I can't really think of anything to play. Nothing's really grabbing my attention. Alright, you know what? I'll just close my eyes. I'll close my eyes. Okay, scanning. Okay, I think I got something here.